If you're new here, this is a place where we rebuild the mind, strengthen discipline, and develop a level of mental toughness that most people never reach. Now, take a breath, relax your shoulders, and listen carefully, because what you're about to hear is not motivation, it's a mental reset. Everything starts with the mind. Every powerful life begins with a single internal shift. Not money, not talent, not luck. It begins with how you think. Most people spend their entire lives trying to change the outside. They change jobs, they change relationships, they change routines, but they never change the mind that creates their reality. And that's why nothing truly changes. If you want a stronger life, you need a stronger mind. If you want discipline, confidence, and control, you must first rebuild your mental foundation. Because a weak foundation collapses under pressure. A strong foundation stands firm, no matter what life throws at it. Your identity controls your results. Here's a truth most people avoid. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your identity. Your identity is the story you repeat to yourself every day. I'm not disciplined. I've always been like this. I try, but I fail. Those sentences may sound harmless, but they quietly define your limits. Your mind believes whatever you tell it repeatedly. So if you want different results, you need a new internal story. Not fake positivity, not empty affirmations, a deliberate identity upgrade. Stop waiting to feel ready. One of the biggest lies people believe is this: I'll act when I feel confident. I'll start when I feel ready. That moment never comes. Confidence is not the cause of action. Confidence is the result of action. Strong minds decide first, then they act, and confidence follows later. If you wait to feel ready, you stay stuck forever. The strongest people move before they feel prepared. That's how the identity shifts. Rebuilding the inner foundation. Think of your mind like the foundation of a building. If it's cracked, no structure lasts. You might force discipline for a week. You might push yourself for a month. But the moment stress appears, you fall back to old habits. Why? Because you're trying to behave like a new person while still identifying as the old one. That internal conflict creates failure. Rebuilding your foundation means this: decide who you're becoming, then align your actions with that identity, not the other way around. Discomfort is a signal of growth. When you start changing your identity, something happens. A voice appears. You're not good enough. This isn't you. Go back to what's comfortable. That voice is not your enemy. It's your old identity fighting for survival. Discomfort is proof that change is happening. Strong minds don't run from discomfort. They recognize it as a sign of expansion. Every time you act despite discomfort, you lay a new brick in your mental foundation. Keeping promises to yourself. The fastest way to build mental strength is simple. Keep small promises to yourself. Wake up when you said you would. Finish what you start. Do the hard thing, even when no one is watching. Each promise kept builds self-trust, and self-trust is real power. A mind that trusts itself is unstoppable. You are not your past. Your past explains you. It does not define you. You are not your mistakes. You are not your failures. You are not your old habits. You are the decisions you make today. The moment you stop identifying with who you were and start acting as who you're becoming, your entire life shifts. The new standard. From this moment forward, your standard changes. You no longer negotiate with weakness. You no longer wait for motivation. You no longer live on autopilot. You lead yourself, not perfectly, but consistently. And consistency builds identity. Mental strength is built daily. Mental strength is not created in one big moment. It's built quietly, daily, through small choices.
Each disciplined action compounds. Each difficult decision strengthens you. Each moment you don't quit rewires your brain. That's how unbreakable minds are built. Ask yourself this: who do I become if I keep going? Who do I become if I stop quitting? Who do I become if I stay disciplined for 1 year? That future version of you is already possible. You just need to act like them today. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to the channel right now. In the next part, we'll go deeper. We'll train the mind like an athlete trains the body. We'll build focus, discipline, and mental endurance. This journey has just started. Stay consistent, stay sharp, and remember, a powerful life begins with a powerful mind.
If you want a stronger life, you must train your mind the same way elite performers train their bodies. Not randomly, not emotionally, not only when you feel motivated, but daily, intentionally, and with structure. In this part, we are going to build mental strength the right way. Your mind is a muscle. Most people treat their mind like glass. They protect it. They avoid stress. They run from pressure. Strong people treat their mind like a muscle. They train it. A muscle grows when it faces resistance. Your mind is no different. If you avoid challenge, your mind stays weak. If you embrace challenge, your mind adapts, sharpens, and strengthens. Mental toughness is trained, not inherited. Why most people stay mentally weak? Let's be honest. Most people don't lack intelligence. They lack mental conditioning. They stop when things feel uncomfortable. They quit when progress feels slow. They get distracted when focus is required. Why? Because their mind was never trained to handle resistance. A mind that isn't trained collapses under pressure. Training beats motivation. Motivation is emotional. Training is structural. Motivation comes and goes. Training builds consistency. If you depend on motivation, you live in cycles. Start, stop, regret, repeat. If you depend on training, you build identity. Elite minds don't ask, "Do I feel like it?" They ask, "What's the standard?" And then they act. Daily mental training, the foundation. Mental training doesn't need to be extreme. It needs to be consistent. Here are the core pillars. Focus practice. Train your attention daily. Sit in silence for 5 minutes. No phone, no music, no stimulation. Your mind will resist. That resistance is the training. Controlled discomfort. Do one uncomfortable thing every day. Cold shower, hard conversation, difficult task you keep avoiding. Discomfort expands your capacity. Mental discipline. Finish what you start. Completion trains the brain to follow through. Incomplete actions train quitting. Pressure is not the enemy. Pressure reveals who you are. Weak minds collapse under pressure. Strong minds sharpen. Pressure is not there to destroy you. It's there to expose your level, and exposure is necessary for growth. Every difficult moment is a training session. Stress versus strength. There's a difference between stress and challenge. Stress drains you. Challenge builds you. The difference is perception. If you see difficulty as a threat, you panic. If you see difficulty as training, you grow. Strong minds reframe pressure as preparation. Building mental stamina. Mental stamina is the ability to stay clear under fatigue. Most people lose focus when tired. They make emotional decisions. They quit too early. Stamina is built by staying engaged after comfort ends. Finish the task even when energy drops. Stay focused even when boredom appears. That's where strength is built. Your inner dialogue during training. Pay attention to your self-talk when things get hard. That voice saying, "Stop, enough, you deserve a break."
That voice is not truth, it's habit. Strong minds do not obey every thought. They observe it, then choose action anyway. Rest is part of training. Elite performers don't train non-stop. They recover intentionally. Mental rest is not scrolling. Mental rest is silence, walking alone, journaling, deep breathing. A rested mind performs better. Burnout is not strength. Sustainability is. Repetition creates identity. One disciplined action means nothing. 100 disciplined actions create identity. Repetition wires the brain. You don't try to be disciplined, you become disciplined. Identity follows repetition. Why consistency feels boring? Consistency is boring because it works. Chaos feels exciting. Discipline feels repetitive. But repetition creates mastery. Strong minds embrace boredom because boredom builds excellence. Mental confidence is earned. Confidence is not hype. Confidence is evidence. Every time you push past resistance, your mind records proof. I can handle this. That proof becomes confidence. No shortcuts, no pretending. Training your mind under failure. Failure is feedback. Weak minds personalize failure. Strong minds analyze it. Ask, what worked? What didn't? What do I adjust? Failure is not a verdict, it's data. Your mind learns from action. Thinking doesn't build confidence, action does. Your brain believes what you do, not what you say. That's why discipline changes identity faster than affirmations. From average to dangerous. An untrained mind is reactive. A trained mind is deliberate. You stop panicking. You stop overthinking. You stop quitting. You become calm under pressure. That calmness is power. You don't need more information. You need more execution. Most people know what to do. They just don't do it consistently. Knowledge without discipline creates frustration. Execution creates clarity. Train even when no one sees. The mind grows in private. No applause, no validation. But those unseen reps create visible strength later. Strong people are built when nobody is watching. The moment you realize your power. One day, something changes. What used to feel hard becomes normal. What used to scare you feels manageable. That's not luck, that's training. You are becoming unrecognizable. You think differently, you react differently, you move differently. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. In the next part, we will eliminate mental noise, distractions, and internal chaos. You'll learn how to sharpen focus and take back control of your attention. This is not entertainment. This is mental training. Stay disciplined, stay focused, and remember, a trained mind turns pressure into power.
Part 3. Eliminate mental noise and master absolute focus. If you feel busy but not productive, if your mind feels tired even when your body isn't, if you start many things but finish very few, this is not laziness, this is mental noise, and today we're going to remove it. Why most people can't focus anymore? Focus used to be normal. Today it's rare. Not because people are weak, but because their attention is constantly under attack. Notifications, social media, endless information, unfinished thoughts. Your mind is overloaded, and an overloaded mind cannot perform. Busy is not effective. Most people confuse movement with progress. They answer messages, they scroll, they multitask. They feel busy, but nothing meaningful moves forward. Focus is what turns effort into results. Without focus, energy leaks everywhere. What mental noise really is.
Mental noise is not sound. Mental noise is unfinished tasks, unmade decisions, constant comparison, replaying the past, worrying about the future. Every open mental loop consumes energy, and when too many loops stay open, your mind becomes exhausted. A quiet mind is a powerful mind. Strong minds are not loud, they are clear. They don't think about everything, they think about what matters now. Clarity beats intensity, always. Your attention is your most valuable asset. Money can be earned again, time cannot, but attention is even more valuable than time. Where your attention goes, your life follows. If your attention is scattered, your life becomes scattered. If your attention is disciplined, your life becomes powerful. Multitasking is a lie. The brain cannot focus on two complex tasks at once. It switches rapidly, burning energy and lowering quality. Multitasking feels productive, but it destroys depth. Depth is where excellence lives. Do one thing at a time, one task, one goal, one direction. When you fully engage with one thing, you enter a state of flow. Flow is where time disappears and output multiplies. This is how elite performers work. Remove the biggest distractions. You don't need more discipline, you need fewer distractions. Turn off unnecessary notifications, limit screen time, create physical distance from noise. Focus is easier when distractions are removed. Mental decluttering practice. Once per day, do this. Write down everything on your mind, tasks, worries, ideas. Get it out of your head. A clear mind begins with external organization. Silence is not empty. Silence is uncomfortable for distracted minds, but silence is where clarity lives. 5 minutes of silence per day can change how your brain works. Silence resets attention. Your inner voice can create noise. Not all noise comes from without. Self-doubt, overthinking, negative self-talk. These drain focus faster than any notification. You must learn to direct your thoughts. Train your attention like a muscle. Attention strengthens through use. Read without checking your phone. Listen without interrupting. Work without switching tasks. Each rep builds focus. Why most people feel mentally tired? Mental fatigue often comes from decision overload. Too many choices, too many inputs, too many options. Simplify decisions. Structure reduces mental fatigue. Create focus rituals. Strong minds use rituals. Same work time, same environment, same preparation. Rituals signal the brain it's time to focus. Focus requires boundaries. You cannot focus if you say yes to everything. Say no to distractions. Say no to unnecessary conversations. Say no to low-value input. Boundaries protect your mind. Comparison is mental poison. Comparing yourself to others destroys focus. It pulls your attention outward. Focus returns when you measure progress against who you were yesterday. Emotional control improves focus. Strong emotions hijack attention. Anger, fear, anxiety. Pause, breathe, observe. Calm minds focus better. Focus is energy management. Focus is not about force, it's about directing energy. Work when energy is high, rest when energy drops. Respect your mental rhythm. The power of deep work. Shallow work keeps you busy. Deep work changes your life. 1 hour of deep focus beats 8 hours of distraction. Depth creates mastery. The moment focus becomes your default. One day you notice something. You finish what you start. You think more clearly. You feel calmer. That's not coincidence. That's mastery of attention. Focus makes you dangerous. A focused person in a distracted world has a massive advantage. You move faster, you learn deeper, you execute better. Focus multiplies everything. You don't need more time, you need more presence. When attention improves, time feels longer and more effective. Mental clarity changes identity. Clear thinking creates confidence. You stop doubting every move. You act with intention. Clarity builds leadership. Preparation for Part 4. In the final part, we will build emotional power, discipline, self-control, and step fully into a new identity. This is where everything comes together. You're not here to be average. You're here to be focused, disciplined, and powerful. Remember, a quiet mind is an unstoppable weapon.
Part 4. Discipline, emotional control, and the birth of a new identity. Final awakening. If you've made it this far, you are not here by accident. Most people quit before transformation begins. You stayed, and that already says something about you. This final part is not about learning more, it's about becoming more. Why discipline is the real freedom. People think discipline is restriction. They are wrong. Discipline is freedom. Without discipline, you are controlled by mood, by impulse, by comfort. With discipline, you decide. Strong people don't ask, what do I feel like doing? They ask, what kind of person do I choose to be? Self-control is self-respect. Every time you resist an impulse, you send a signal to your mind, I am in control. That signal builds self-respect, and self-respect changes behavior automatically. You stop negotiating with weakness because you no longer identify with it. Emotions are information, not commands. Weak minds obey emotions. Strong minds observe them. Feeling tired doesn't mean stop. Feeling fear doesn't mean retreat. Feeling discomfort doesn't mean danger. Emotions are signals, not orders. Mastery begins when you stop reacting and start responding. The ability to pause is power. Between impulse and action, there is a pause. That pause is power. Most people act immediately. They regret later. Strong minds pause, breathe, decide. Control the pause, and you control your life. Discipline beats talent every time. Talent without discipline fades. Discipline without talent grows. History is filled with talented people who never became consistent, and it's filled with disciplined people who became unstoppable. Consistency compounds quietly. Stop seeking comfort. Comfort weakens the mind. It feels good now, but costs you later. Growth demands discomfort. Not chaos, not burnout, but deliberate discomfort. The kind that strengthens you. Emotional strength is built under pressure. You don't train emotional control when life is easy. You train it when you're tired, when you're stressed, when you're frustrated. That's when control matters. That's when identity is forged. You are what you do repeatedly, not what you say, not what you plan, what you do, again and again. Identity is behavioral. Change actions, and identity follows. Create non-negotiable standards. Strong people have standards. They don't negotiate with excuses, with laziness, with distraction. Standards simplify decisions. No debate, just action.
Why most people fail to change. They rely on emotion, not structure. Emotion fades, structure remains. Build systems, build routines. Discipline becomes automatic. Self-discipline is built in small moments. Big decisions matter, but small decisions build character. Getting up when it's hard, finishing when it's boring, staying calm when triggered. Those moments shape identity. Control your reactions. You can't control everything, but you can control your response. Response is power. Life tests you constantly, not to break you, but to reveal you. Stop seeking validation. Validation weakens discipline. When you need approval, you lose direction. Strong people move with or without applause. Internal standards exceed external opinions. The cost of uncontrolled emotion. Unchecked emotion leads to bad decisions, regret, lost opportunities. Emotional control protects your future. You are becoming hard to distract. Your focus is sharper, your reactions are calmer, your decisions are cleaner. That's growth. Not loud, not flashy, but real. Discipline creates confidence. Confidence is earned. Each time you do what's hard, confidence increases. You stop doubting yourself because you trust your actions. Pain is temporary, identity is permanent. Discomfort passes, effort ends, but identity remains. Choose pain that builds you, not pain that keeps you stuck. You don't need to feel ready. Readiness is a myth. Action creates readiness. Strong minds move first and adapt after. The moment everything changes. One day you realize you don't quit anymore. You don't panic anymore. You don't need motivation. You operate from discipline. That's the shift. Section 20. You have outgrown your old self. Old habits feel uncomfortable now. Old excuses sound weak. That's not arrogance, that's evolution. Your new identity. You are calm under pressure, disciplined without drama, focused without force. You don't chase motivation, you lead yourself. Maintaining the standard. Transformation is not an event, it's a practice. Protect your habits, protect your focus, protect your standards. That's how strength lasts. You are now responsible. You can't unsee this. You can't unknow this. Awareness creates responsibility. From here on, your results are your decision. Final message to the listener. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. You don't need approval. You need discipline. And you don't need motivation. You need standards. If this series changed how you think, subscribe to the channel. This is not content, this is training. And remember this, the strongest person in the room is the one who controls themselves.